Okay, I almost forgot to do a video today. So I was wondering what I was going to do, and I saw this in my Obsidian, or next to my Obsidian stack, because it got mixed up with some of the Obsidian. Now this, it looks like a black glass, right? But then I held it up to the light, and I think it's kind of greenish. Yeah, see that greenish tint? So I'm going to nap it, right? But I'm also going to nap this uh, later, this Carol Ann's Irish cream bottle. I think it might be the same stuff, but this one's a bigger bottle than this one was, right? I think that's what this is from. Anyway, let's do some glass napping. And I almost forgot. I'm going to cut this into pieces like this. See that? This is cut with a glass cutter. However it goes together, I don't know. Anyway, it's much easier to cut it and then nap it than it is to try to nap it like this. All right, let's see. I can't remember if I would score the concave side or the convex side. I'm going to try this side. See that score line? And then use the pliers in the same, see how it's curved a little bit? The pliers are curved a little bit. See that? It looks like a frown, right? So I'm going to put it in the same direction as the curve on this. Let's see if that snaps it. I just apply some pressure. No, that won't do it. So let's flip it around and try it that way. The other way. There it goes. So yeah, just flip it around and it'll snap. So, is this thick enough to make an arrowhead? It's dicey. The thicker it is, the better, because then you can really get a long arrowhead out of it. All right, so let's try it. I was working on new tools today and I almost forgot to do a video. So I'm not ready yet. I gotta put the glass gaiters on. These really are pretty good. I don't have to worry about anything getting in my shoes. Yep. Pretty good. I suppose I could do a cheaper version of these just by getting a big huge pair of socks and put them up over the top of my shoes and stuff, but these are cool. I like them. All right. This looks like black glass from a bottle, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like when we're finished. See if it looks like obsidian. Because if it does, then we have a hack, right? We've hacked the system, and now we can use it to pretend we're napping obsidian when we just went to the store and bought it. Alright, so in the process of making new tools, I ditched my old ones. Yeah. Okay, and now I gotta resharpen some. I'm just gonna use this strict rod without the wooden handle, but I didn't file the end. Let's see if I can do it with this copper rod, this 3/8 inch not copper, aluminum. All right. Usually I would do this with steel because it's much faster, but aluminum might work. Why is it faster with steel? Because steel doesn't play around. It just smashes through anything. I think the aluminum is working okay too. Yeah. All right. I am seeing some translucent flakes. Is that a greenish or a brownish? I don't know. So I'm going to take off some of the ends because I can't use them anyway. They're too curved. Too curved. Yeah. And this was 750 milliliters. 750 milliliters. I think that's 32 ounces. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Anyway, we got to get rid of the outside. I'm already getting flakes in my other hand. Hold on. I don't want to get all... I want to spring leaks everywhere and get everything all messy. All right. Yeah, so let's get rid of this nasty edge without cracking it in half. Now, a lot of you guys, the only thing you have available to nap is glass bottle bottoms and stuff like that. I like glass bottle bottoms, but you can't make really long arrowheads out of it unless it's really thick, like these. And this one came from some large beer bottle, or not a beer bottle, a growler, like a gallon jug for beer. Yeah. Or a Clorox bottle. The Clorox bottles are getting harder to find because they're collectible now, I suppose. But you can find them in bottle dumps, the old-timey bottle dumps. They still got plenty of those out there. What's a bottle dump? It's just a place out in someone's property where you go out there and you're just hanging around in the woods or whatever, and you see this big pile of bottles. Yeah, they just dumped their bottles out there back in the day. Why they did that and didn't just throw it in the regular trash, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, when I went to New Hampshire over the summer, and let's see, I was there for the partially winter and then the spring and the summer. I found some bottle dumps out on the trail, just walking trails out there. Yep, lots of bottles. But they're just regular size beer bottles, nothing big. And other types of bottles. I couldn't figure them out. I'm not an expert on that. But I'm assuming they were like medicine bottles sometimes. Or they were holding hydrogen peroxide or some other thing like that. Isopropyl alcohol or whatever. Alright, so this, yeah, bottle bottoms are really, really curved in a lot of cases. You can find some that are pretty flat, but the higher the pressure, the more curved the bottom. So sometimes you can find bottle bottoms for bottled water that are really dark, like dark blue. Dark blue bottle bottoms for some sort of water. Yeah, this is a dark green. Come on. Right, it's going to be a dark green. Is there any Obsidian like this? Probably not. Oh well, we're going to nap it anyway. Pretend it's Obsidian. Obsidian doesn't nap quite as well as this. This naps really well. Obsidian is unpredictable. Bottle glass, a lot of times, is very nice, but it bounces and gets everywhere. If you think Obsidian flakes fly a lot, you haven't been napping bottle glass. these flakes fly everywhere because it's very bouncy. Flexible glass. Funny how that works. Now, there's probably a systematic way to do this, but I just thin down the ends first, just like everything else, just like working a curved flake, and then I worry about the center. Yeah, I work bottle bottoms like I work curved flakes. Pretty straightforward stuff. I prefer to get them narrow first. Because there usually isn't any surprises. With natural obsidian, I kind of like to have an extra bit of width, just in case there's some surprises that I need to clear up and make sure that I have plenty of width to do it. Plenty of width to set up the striking areas for flakes that'll clean up bad areas or whatever. This original surface doesn't look too bad. I might just leave it on the belly of this thing toward the end. And this surface doesn't look bad either. So some bottles have really bad looking surfaces. You don't want to leave them on there, but this is not too bad. Now, let's see. I used to have kind of a procedure to do these, I think, back in the day. I can't remember what I did on my older videos, but I think I napped this concave side first and then I did the easy one last. I don't know. I think that's the way I used to do it. Because you do the easy one first and it gets way too thin. And then there's no way you can flatten that concave side if it's way too thin. But if it's convex and it's thin, it's much easier to run flakes across the convex side once you get to that stage. So if you can nap and get the concave side first, I think that would be ideal. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Come on. It's stronger than obsidian. It doesn't snap in half as easily either, which is good, because I'm really hitting this end really hard. All right, am I starting to get kind of flat enough to stop reducing the length? I'm going to reduce the length until I can see some flatness. See some possibilities. Draw an imaginary line from the tip to tip and see if it makes it all the way through. Does it make it all the way through? Yeah, I think it does. I just need to flatten this out, flatten that out, and then do the other side. So what is the dimension? If I didn't lose my tape measure, I was using my tape measure all day. Where is it? I left it somewhere. Where did I leave it? Probably looking right at it. No? Yeah, I left it somewhere. So you don't get to see how long this is. Let me see. One more look. Oh, it's not under anything. Dang it. I set up my drill press today. Yeah. Never mind. Can't believe I didn't bring it back in. Okay, so the first stage is it's done. Once I can see that there's going to be a point in there, the first stage is done. Now I can do a bunch of these. It's ideal to do a bunch of them and then come back later and finish them out. Alright, so I took my gloves off because I'm going to do some very delicate flake removals, and hopefully I won't get too much of this glass flying everywhere. But I want these flake removals to be kind of deliberate and delicate. See if I can run long flakes. It's hard on the concave side where it's dished in, so I gotta sneak in little by little. I can't just run a long flake across the whole thing. See, I can kind of sneak in there and then come from the other side. Sneak one over there. Hopefully without too many step fractures. I think I'm going to start sneaking them in on the other side too. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do both sides at the same time. Okay. So, what do I talk about while I'm doing this to distract myself a little bit? I'm not sure. Surprise, surprise. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know. Yeah, it's so easy to run the flakes on the convex side. The flakes are flying. Yes, yes. But not too bad. Not too badly. Okay. I gotta make sure I don't crush anything at this stage, so if it doesn't look like it's strong enough to hit, I'm not gonna hit that platform or that striking area. Nope. It's gotta look strong enough. And the aluminum is a little bit more gentle than this steel. Yes, it is. But it also does that, where it grabs the edge and takes too much edge. That's not good. So I guess I'm just going to work my way down slowly. Yeah. And it'll be pretty narrow by the time I finish. Yeah. Just so I can take care of most of that original surface. Flake over it. That was not good. step fracture or crunchy area. I suppose I can do this systematically like a flake over grind and use mostly pressure. But if you do a bunch of these, or if you're doing a bunch of napping and you end up doing a lot of pressure, you get napper's cramp, and then you don't want to do anything else that day. How do I know this? Guess. I used to sit and do pressure 3 hours straight just to build up. I was thinking I was going to build up my muscles. All I did was hurt my posture. Yeah. And get napper's cramp. Yeah, it was not any fun. Did I improve the muscle structure? Well, I think so, yes. But I got a saying, when it comes to certain kinds of exercises, there's exercise and then there's bullshit size. Some exercises actually hurt you and you're not gaining anything. You're actually injuring yourself. That's bullshit size. Yep. So a lot of this flint napping, if you overdo it, it's not the right kind of exercise. You can actually hurt yourself. Not saying everyone's going to be that way. Some guys never get tired. They can nap for hours and say, all I need is a sandwich and get up once in a while to go pee. That's it. And I can sit there for hours. No problem at all. Yeah, I wish I could do that. Maybe I can do that once a week, but I can't do that every day or even 2 days in a row. Nap the whole day, just take little breaks here and there. For 2 straight days, it starts to become not fun. Yep. Not fun at all. Alright, so I'm just napping it like a regular piece of obsidian now. Most of the original surface is gone. Very soon I won't be able to tell. I'm going to start thinking about what shape it's going to be. What type of arrowhead. It's got to be from California, right? Right. But they use glass in other places. Yep. For very short periods of time, glass was used everywhere. Until they figured out they could trade furs for firearms. So that's what they did. Indians had firearms very early because they could trade furs for them. Oh, yes. Furs and hides. So they said, heck with the arrowheads. We'll just trade for steel arrowheads and firearms. Yep. Steel knives. No more stone knives. But in California, they held on to their traditions for a long time. Oops. Yeah, it's going to be narrow anyway, right? Yeah, don't have to worry about it. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that. I suppose I do get those bites with steel, with a steel percussion flaker, but I'm going to blame it on the aluminum. It grabs the edge too much. And when it's grabbing the edge too much, you get these bites taken out. Some of you might say, well, does that mean that if you use antler that grabs the edge, it's going to bite like that? Oh, yes. That's exactly what it does. And you'll see real artifacts with little bites taken out, and they don't care. They'll just keep it that way. Toward the end, when they're finishing up, if they get a bite taken out, they just leave it in. I've seen it. Yep. Not always. There's something to be said for symmetry. But once in a while you'll see that they'll leave it in. Those little mistakes like that. Yeah, I gotta make sure. See, this is the easy side. I gotta make sure I don't make a bunch of step fractures getting all built up. Yeah, I gotta make it more narrow if I want to blast through those. Alright, let's see. Let's make it more narrow. Can you see? It's difficult to see the dark material. Yeah, it's a greenish, but it looks convincing as far as looking similar to Obsidian. Yeah. But it does have a dark greenish tint. Or tinge. However you want to say it. Yeah, so I'm just going to have to try and go slow and not step fracture the whole thing. I wanted to do this quick because it's starting to get late. Yeah, I almost forgot. Like I said, I almost forgot that I had to do a video. So I said to myself, okay, I can do a quick one. Let's do a bottle bottom because what am I going to do with this glass that I found? So here I am. It's been such a long time since I worked bottle bottoms. I don't even know if I can do this without step fracturing it all over the place. Once it starts getting thin, yeah, and it's starting to irritate me. And then I start making these mistakes. Okay, that's better. See, I have a step fracture right there, right in there, and there's starting to build up some island in the middle. This side's not bad, but as I start to try to strike through to the middle, that's going to be not too easy. There's a step fracture here on that edge, but it's going to get more narrow, so I can blow that away with when it gets more narrow. Usually. Let's do it. Okay. What seems easy is not easy. See, with steel I could have blasted through that, but the aluminum is a little bit too soft. And what I mean by blasting through it is, you know, being able to hit a strong platform and get some results. Okay. See, if I can't get a long flake, it just steps. Now, should I leave the edge sharper when I have a softer percussion tool? I find that a sharp edge is a mixed bag. Sometimes it works well, but most of the time I get wimpy flakes with a sharp edge. It's got to be either beveled or ground down somehow, at least a little bit, with a soft tool. Now, if you're using a hard percussion tool, it's got to be ground down. Has to be. But sometimes you can get away with not grinding it if you have a soft tool. So what I'm doing here is I'm striking in different areas. I'm not getting a flake with each strike, if you can tell. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. What I'm hoping for is I'm going to get used to the aluminum here, and then I'll start running these nice flakes. See, I want to get bold flakes like that one, instead of a lot of these little flakes. It looks too flakery. Oops. Yeah, I don't have to worry about this dropping on anything big down below. So I gotta keep, as long as I keep my tools off the floor. Yeah, all these little things when you're knapping glass, it's so fragile. You have to worry about what's down below, just in case you drop it. Alright, I'm not getting anywhere. Like, I can get a flake, like 1 in 4 tries I'll get a flake. Let's see. Start hitting harder. I don't know. If I start hitting harder, I'm going to shatter the edge. Let's see what's going on. It's too random, right? I think it's just too random. It doesn't like the randomness. I got to do it more systematically. But I don't nap that way. Yeah, hit harder and that's what happens. So just keep hitting harder until it doesn't happen. Because I'm going to need some big flakes here to clean that up. And thin it down a lot. It needs to be really thin. Yeah, just keep hitting hard until I get good results. Right? I don't know. You might not want to try that, boys and girls. It might not work for you. but I don't have a choice here. I gotta clean it up for the video and make it less flakery. Yeah, I take a chance on breaking it every time. All right, so that looks a little bit better. There's still some crunchiness in the middle, but it's starting to look a little bit better. Yeah, I need to hit that really, really hard. Harder than I like. See how it's nice and flat now. All right, so we reached that stage where it's flattened out. I got a lot of bold flaking on it. I still have some of the original surface, but I think I'm going to leave most of it. And then let's take a breather. I'm going to do some pressure flaking. Let's see. So, oops, sorry about that. You guys with headphones, that probably was very, very loud. Yeah, all right. I'm going to put the gloves back on. Yeah, I needed the gloves off so I can do that delicate work with the percussion. Even though I ended up having to hit pretty hard, it was less delicate than I thought. If it was obsidian, it would have been a lot more delicate. But I had to hit that pretty hard. Let's see. Sorry not seeing what I'm doing, but I'm just picking up flakes. It's good to keep the area free of flakes because, well, for me, with my luck, I always get one silly little flake in the bottom of my shoe that works its way in if I'm not careful with the flakes. You know, when dealing with obsidian, with flint and chert, no, not so much. Okay. Or with glass, when dealing with glass is even stronger and more shoe penetrating than obsidian is. Okay. Now my hands are small, so this is actually a really small point. It might look big, but it's not. It might look relatively big, but it's not that big. All right. It's more than 2 inches, I think. I don't know what the heck happened to my ruler. Hold on. Yeah, I found a ruler. Don't need no stinking tape measure. All right, let's see what this is. It's 2 1/4 by 7/8 or almost an inch. 15/16. Oops. The original, the other half of this is right there. So if we measure, that's a 3 down to 2 1/4. You can do the math on it. Okay. If you do a math and get a ratio, you can probably do the same, cut in half with other bottle bottoms, and then plan on getting an arrowhead of that size. You know, just come up with a ratio. Measure this, multiply it by the ratio, and you get your preform size. Right? Hopefully. Especially with these curved ones. Yeah. It's kind of good to know. Because if you're going to get a bottle and you want to make a big point, and you measure the bottom and you go, man, I can probably get a big point from it. But you do the ratio and you find out, it's not big enough. The bottle's not big enough. So you got to look for a huge bottle. a gallon glass bottle. Yeah. I'm delaying because I don't know where I put that pressure flaker that I just had in my hand not 5 seconds ago. I do not know where it went. And I have to use it. Where is it? Okay. It's on the next shelf up. All right. Like a spaz. I don't know what I'm doing. Now I should have a glove on both hands, but then I can't manipulate the focus. So we're gonna roll the dice. Hopefully I don't get a flake jumping between the flaker and my finger. Because that's where they like to jump. They like to jump right in there when I'm doing this. Yeah, I can't have any crunchiness. Let's switch over to the spatula tool. Is that visible? No. I'm going to regularize it. Taking this slow at first so I can see what the steel is doing. I hear a lot of crunchiness. How do I avoid the crunchiness? I just got to take bigger flakes. Be a little more aggressive with it so I'm not pampering the edge. Ooh, that one hit right above my eye. A little flake right above the eye. They're bouncing. Another one. The first flake hit me. One flake just a second ago hit me above my right eye. That one hit me above my left eye. Why am I napping so close to my face? Because the camera and everything is right close to my face. If it's not, you guys can't hear me. Gotta get some good headphones or something. I don't want to be that close to the phone. Because the chips are flying. Yep. Now, I don't have to be next to the phone. I can adjust the focus, and I can be far away and adjust the focus, but then I can't see. Then it's too far away from me. And my reader glasses, they don't have long distance to them. So I got to be close to the work as well. And that phone in front of my face is like the third wheel. Yep. And the phone doesn't care. Doesn't care about being the third wheel, but that's what it is. Yeah. I see some randomness rearing its ugly head, but that's okay. I'm just gonna live with the randomness. Yeah, some of the strikes scooped out too much, but that's the nature of random flaking. All right. Where are my other flakers? Did I throw those away? No, I still got them somewhere. I had a copper one, but I don't know what I did with it. Oh, I know. I took it apart. Yeah. I took it apart because I'm gonna put a new handle on it. I still got this one. Let's see if I can pick at the edge with this. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I might be able to do it. There we go. Now there's what I'm talking about. Look at that. That worked well. Does it work on the very tippity tip? Let's see. Is it focused enough? Can you see? No? Don't worry. Like I've been saying, I can't see either. Yeah, look at that. Look at that mess. Is it the pad stopping the flake? I get that question every time. And if they don't ask, they're thinking it. And the answer is probably yes. A slotted pad does work better in many cases, I have to admit. But I don't like using them because I always break my points on them. So I'm not going to use them. For me, I break the points. It's not worth it. I don't like to have a 50-50 chance every time. It seems to be my track record with these. See, that flake ran that whole ridge right there. And this flake right here tried to run a big ridge too. So this pressure flaker is working well with a small tip. You know, just a small tip engaging the glass. You know, pushing downward like that. Downward and slightly inward on a ground edge. And it's working. Yep. All right. Fantastic. Good enough, right? All right, so I just got to continue it. Very picky. Make sure I don't hit the tip with my finger and snap the tip off. I've snapped the tip off with my finger before. While I'm doing this, while pressure flaking, I have snapped tips off. Ooh, what is that? Don't tell me I got a bite with the pressure flaker too. Holy moly. I can't catch a break. Try to run a long flake and it just ends up taking a bite out of it. And I didn't even grind that very much. So yeah, nothing I can do except just go slow. And not bite off more than I can chew. Oops. Yep. It's already 49 minutes and it feels like I'm only halfway through. So it's working, but it's working slowly. Got that little bit. Did I get it out? Almost. drifting. I hate that. All right, stay up here. Stop drifting. Slippery, slippery. Try not to apply too much pressure. Even though it's tempting to run long flakes, too much pressure takes out a bite. Slippery. Yeah, it's stronger than Obsidian. For sure. All right, so I'm going to pick at it to dull it and see how that works. I'm just going to, no. I was going to pick at it to dull it, but nah, it's just so much faster to take the abrader, even though it's overkill. See, I got to take some off of this lower side right there. Sometimes you can dull it with the flaker, but it's just so much faster with the abrader. But it leaves a lot of dull spots. Dang it. Is that a stiff fracture? Yeah. It didn't work that well. I gotta take some off of that lower side. The first pass didn't work that well. Come on. It's not allowing me to do the long flake thing. Yeah, it's kind of slippery. Oops, see, I hit my finger on that. Hopefully I didn't take the tip off with my finger. All right, let's be careful with this. Yeah, the curved flaker's throwing me off just a little bit because it's putting my hand close to the tip, or my finger close to the tip. All right. I gotta take this side down because of symmetry. This side's too far out. So I gotta take it down, take it back, whatever you call it. Probably messing up a nice edge in the process, but oh well. Let's see what the spatula tool will do. Let me take it down a little bit. thin down the spatula tool so it's more flexible. I grabbed my half round. Okay. Why the half round? Because it scoops it out. You know, it scoops it out, so it makes it thinner. And when it's thinner, it's more flexible. As long as it's not too thin, it won't bend. And why is it good to have a flexible spatula tool? Because it produces a little bit longer flake, and that's what I need. I want it to have a sharp edge, so a little bit of flexibility makes it kind of follow through. Just that little bit, enough to produce a fairly long flake. It's still a little bit stiff, but oh well. Oh well. Expediency. That's what I like. I'll live with the deficiencies for the sake of expediency. Someone once asked me in an email, explain. Could I explain the motivations and stuff in detail, in all the glorious long detail that I don't want to do on video, and put some thought into it? Well, that's like a subject for a book, right? But I thought about that for a while before I responded, and I said to myself, I don't even go through that with myself. I don't go through a long, tedious analysis of what I do for my own use. How did I get here without the long, tedious analysis? I don't know. So I told him, the only thing on my mind really is expediency. I do a lot of my things, a lot of my stuff because of expediency. I don't want to spend all the time thinking about it. I don't want to spend all my time worrying about it or putting it into words. I probably will write a book on it, but it's not going to be a philosophy. I think that kind of question is like, what is your philosophical treatise on Flintknapping? Cover all aspects. I don't have a philosophical treatise, and I don't have one on purpose on Flintknapping. I try to tie in my explanations as best I can. I talk about free will sometimes. I talk about determinism. I talk about brain development. As it relates to napping, or I try to tie it back into napping. But that's as far as I go. I don't try to analyze this stuff. Maybe I should. I don't know. Every time I think I'm turning a corner, like conquering step fractures, there was a time where I felt like I turned the corner. I finally turned the corner on step fractures. Now I know what to do to control them. But that didn't come after a long thinking period. That came after developing habits. And habits with expediency in mind. I made it work with the kind of habits that I wanted to develop. I wanted a compact tool set because I can get into all kinds of jigs and stuff. I want a compact and transportable tool set, lightweight, simple. Learning curve, just a few minutes. I can show someone in just a few minutes what to do, and they understand intuitively because the tool is simple. And not bulky. I got rid of all the bulk. Everything is non-bulky. You can stick it in a small package. I guess that goes along with compact. And so with the tools that I had, I practiced and got into habits that I could do regardless of my mood. It didn't have to be, it didn't require any special warm-up exercises or practice sessions, long practice sessions before I get good at something. No, it's just straightforward. I try to use the same technique on all the points, basically, with slight variations, especially with paleo. There is variation, but I'd use mainly random. And that's it. I don't think it helped him out. It's like SpongeBob says, that didn't help at all. Tell me a story so I can fall asleep, and then blah, blah, blah. There was an urchin, and it was so ugly he died. Something like that. Then he goes, that didn't help at all. Well, my explanation probably didn't help at all. My Flintknapping is based off expediency and a small package of tools. That's it. And I take my time sometimes because I don't want to mess up. But if I got like a ton of bottle bottoms, I don't spend this much time on the Arrowhead. I break it and move on. Yep. Oops. Slippery. But I take this much time on the video as a training exercise, both for you and for me. Yep. Oh yeah, this is a little exercise in patience for me, and a little bit of slow walkthrough for you if you're new. You get to see the slow walkthrough, all the painstaking stuff, all the little nitpickety flakes, all the attention to symmetry in real time, the whole process, so that you can compare. To what you do, right? Right. No philosophical treatise on how I nap. Maybe someday. Maybe expediency is a philosophy. I don't know. And as far as philosophy goes, I'm trying to learn logic and fallacies, memorize that aspect of philosophy. Because what you haven't in ignorance, you know, I got a lot of ignorance. I don't understand a lot of things. The weakness, because you can't really learn everything. When you're talking to someone that has years and years experience doing something, all you can do is challenge the logic. If you want to, if it's that kind of conversation. If it's not that kind of conversation, then don't have to worry about it. You can just listen. But if it's a conversation that you want to take it to a level where you're discussing options and you're challenging and criticizing, and you don't have experience, what do you got? All you can do is challenge and criticize the logic. That's it. But you got to know it. You got to be very careful how you apply it. Rationality is not an easy thing. Things have different ways of looking at it. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to put in a concave base, because what I want to do is a fox ear type arrowhead. See if I can do it. Maybe with expanding notches. Yeah, I'm getting flakes everywhere. Once I start being aggressive with the flaking, they start flying again. All right. I can't push too hard on this and run long flakes because I could snap the whole thing in half. So I got to be satisfied with just short flakes. Did I take some of that corner off? Maybe. I probably can't. I can probably hit it with percussion. Thin down this side just a little bit. All right. There's a lot of the original flake scar, original bottle bottom on this one. I'm just going to leave it. Yes, I know. It's not fully flaked. You guys have spent all this time watching the video hoping that it would be fully flaked. Unless something drastic happens, I'm not going to fully flake it. Nope. Alright, where's that? Percussion rod. Let's see. This one's got to be just right. Because I'm going to hit from the base. If it's not just right, it snaps everything. Okay. Yeah. Why with direct percussion? Why with indirect percussion? Because that's the only way I can get these big, long, beautiful, bold flakes. And they don't even have to be that long, but I can't get that with pressure. I was only getting small flakes. See, that first hit was right there. Nice. And I guess that flake went under my arm. Let's see. Yeah, nice thinning flakes. See? Nice thinning flakes with the percussion. Yeah, it's dicey, but it's also nice. Roll the dice, get something nice. Yeah, and yes, I'm going to go in the other direction too. if I can. Might not be a good idea. Ouch, that didn't do anything. There we go. Yeah, I go in the other direction now. Come on. It's hot in the shop. I'm starting to feel the summer coming on. I'll be sweating a lot in the summertime, and that's when the glass sticks to you. And of course, there's a smarty pants in the comment section that knows I should be using talc powder. I know. I just keep forgetting. If you use talc powder, don't have to worry about the flakes sticking. But I keep forgetting. Okay? All right. Beautiful. Come on. Don't ruin my streak. I gotta talk to the glass. I gotta remind it not to ruin my streak. Yeah. It's going good there for a little bit. Now I can't get nothing. Oh, I see. Yeah, stiff fracture. Come on. It's just a little bitty stiff fracture. It shouldn't be a big deal. Let's try and clean this up and finish it out. No gloves. Because they're getting in the way. That means more fussing with the brush, but alright, so that's good enough for the base thinning. I can start putting the notches in, but not until I do a little brush, so I don't get distracted by flakes. Alright. Let's do some side notches. Can you see? I know you can't because I can't see. There, let's see if that works. Nice little pop outs. I gotta thin this down. It's still too thick. So I'm gonna take some off the top. Like this. The birds are probably going, what is that noise? They're sleeping right now, but I'm going to wake them up. Alright. There's just a little bit of notch in it right now. I got to expand it. Drive it inward and expand it. I should probably be using a spatula tool, but I don't have one. Let's do this vertical stuff. Let's try that. Yes, okay. That did pop it out, but it's kind of a crunchy pop out. I gotta watch it on the sides. Yeah, I can't be doing that too often. You know, I can't be punching down through because I might hit the sides of the notch. I gotta stop it somehow before it goes all the way down in, or make it even thinner. I'll just try to control how much it goes down in. Okay. I got a feeling I stalled it. Yep. It's still too thick. So that means I got to make the notch bigger. Or I can just leave it at that depth. I don't know. I thought I had thinned it down, but no, I wasn't able to get big pop outs. If I had gotten big pop outs, I would have been able to drive it a little deeper. All right, what am I going to do? I'm expanding the notch so I can go further. Hopefully. Hopefully that's what happens. I just blew out the top part, but it's probably easier now to continue with the notch. Nope. Dang it. Let's see. What am I going to do? I messed it up already. Okay, a couple of pop outs and I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to push my luck. All right. Do a little repair on the edge. A little repair on the edge and then move on to the other side. Come on. Don't leave me with the step fracture. Let's see. Yeah, it's been blurry a lot. I can't be adjusting the focus every 5 seconds. I don't know. I'm almost gonna give up on this. It's step fracturing way too much. Even with the spatula tool. I'm just not used to this glass, I guess. Is it translucent? It's not translucent, right? We're not seeing translucency. So it's convincing as far as an obsidian look-alike. Because if it was translucent, the greenish would give it away as glass. Now, do I want to fool people? No, I just want to find some material that looks kind of authentic, that you don't have to go to California to get. It's as close as your local liquor store or whatever. Or if you have a friend who's a bartender, get you some free bottles. They're going to throw it away anyway. 3 free used up bottles. Yeah. Hopefully. And then you can make points that look kind of convincing. As far as authentic looking goes. Of course, the Indians did make them out of glass, so I mean, it's not unauthentic to be made of green glass or brown glass or even purple from those insulators, that kind of thing. But if it looks like obsidian, it looks like even more authentic, right? I think so. Yeah, that's my channel, so that's what matters. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this notching symmetrical now. Oh, I gotta control how far that goes down. I don't want to take too much off. Yeah, it's kind of crushing it. I need a good pop out. It's not going to give it to me. Or is it? Come on. It has dulled a little bit since the last time. The flaker. It's not as pointy. So I'm stalling it pretty bad, but I might have symmetry. Let me try something here. I'm going to walk in from the side, the top side. I'm going to try to walk in some flakes. No. Nah, it didn't let me. Oh, maybe. Let's see. Come on. It's not letting me. Yeah, I stalled it. Okay, let's just finish it up. And I'll have better tools next time. I'll have a better notcher next time. The curved notcher works all right, but I prefer crunching them in with a straight spatula tool. Or I just got to get used to the curved notcher. Yeah. Yeah, I just got to get used to it, I suppose. Because it works pretty good, actually. And yeah, if I had gotten this thinner down here, it would have been less challenging to do the notching. And yeah, I'm in a hurry too. Believe it or not, I can't be staying up too late. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get rid of thick spots, but it's not working all that well, so it looks a little bit serrated. What I need to do is get a regular pointed pressure flaker instead of a curved one. I'm still working on it. I'll have it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll have the pointy ones tomorrow. Alright, so that's it. Let's see, final measurements. Let's see if I can find the ruler. I lost 1/8 of an inch. It's 2 1/8. Yep. By 7, let's see. Almost 7/8. Yeah, 1/64 shy of 7/8. A lot of the original bottle surface here. If I took it down smaller, I could have gotten rid of a lot more of that. Yeah. And I think a lot of the real ones were really tiny also. So it wouldn't be inauthentic to do a smaller one. It's just a lot more delicate. And yeah, I can't see the green coloration like I can with a really thin one. There is a green tint to it, right? I mean, I am a little colorblind, but I think there's some, it's brown mainly, but there's some green in it. But I can't see it in this. So this looks like obsidian. Yep. Except for that that one part right there. Which I could probably get rid of it by making a smaller arrowhead. And 1-inch arrowheads are not unreasonable. But this is like 2 inches, twice as long as something really, really tiny that would get rid of all of the original surface. Yeah. Okay. Another bottle bottom. There you go.